With that, let me go ahead and read this disclaimer really quick. The advice and opinions expressed during this program are specific to the individual subjects and are based upon their unique circumstances. This program is intended to provide general information only to a wide viewing audience. For advice appropriate to your specific situation, please contact a local professional. And once again, we'll be live in just a second.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of What's Good with Your Dinero, featuring myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Hilario Guerrero. I'm from Oxnard, born and raised. I actually went to school all my life there at Hathaway Elementary, Blackstone Junior High School, and I graduated from Hueneme High School back in 2013. At the age of 18, I got involved with taxes at H&R Block, and I worked there for 3 years prior to getting involved in the financial services industry, which for the last 4 years, I've been able to run a business in Ventura. Now, what I want to talk with every single one of you today is money. I know many of you are going to go into doing your taxes, and some of you, you're going to be making $1,000 back, $2, $3, $4, maybe even $5,000. But what I want to ask you is, where are you going to put your money in? You see, something I learned very early on in business is that there's 3 different places where you can put your money in. What the majority of our community does is that they put their money in the bank, which it's not bad, but it does have a pro and a con. The pro is that your money is safe, but the con is that your money does not grow whatsoever. What few people do is they put their money in the stock market. Just like the bank, it does have a pro and a con. The pro about the stock market is that your money does grow. It can grow a lot, actually, but the downside about it is that just like it can grow, it can also go down, and that goes as far as to your 401k accounts, 403bs, IRAs, mutual funds, anything directly connected to the stock market. Your money can grow rapidly, but at the same time, there's a risk factor involved into it. Now, what I teach families how to do is to go from putting their money in the bank or the stock market into insurance products. Why? Because that's what wealthy people do. You see, there's a saying that goes by, rich people keep on getting richer and poor people keep on getting poorer. But the reason why rich people keep on getting richer is because rich people figured out how money works. In other words, instead of working so hard for their money, what wealthy people figured out how to do is how to make their money grow for themselves. In other words, work for themselves. You see, what if I were to tell you there's certain accounts out there where you can make your money grow with a guaranteed a floor where you don't risk anything whatsoever, but at the same time, there are even some products where you can grow your money tax-free. If any of you happen to have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at 805-775-6747. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.
So, we are back on, and now the volume is on. I have unmuted ourselves. We want to give a shout out to, who was it that told us that we were being quiet?
Yesenia.
Yesenia, what's up? Thank you for looking out for us. We were muted. But maybe some of you were like, yes, shut him up already. But like I was saying, we have an awesome show, and so now that you can hear, we have Yadi. What's your full name, Yadi?
Yadi Valencia Fernandez. Just want to make sure you guys know I'm Latina, and Latina.
Hueso Colorado. ¿Nopal en la frente?
Yes.
So, yes. So we have you here today. We were making some jokes that you are Lady Gaga today.
And you're Oprah.
And I'm Oprah Winfrey.
Hey.
Welcome to the Oprah Show. But today I seen for the first time a great conversation between Oprah Winfrey and also Lady Gaga, and they talked about mental health. And I was so inspired by this conversation because it just confirmed why I feel so adamant about highlighting mental health, removing the stigma, the negative stigma of mental health, especially in the Latino culture, because we don't talk about it. You don't talk about this stuff, you don't discuss this stuff. But you are a life coach, right?
Yes.
And so you have some skills, you've went through some training, and you've prepared yourself to be able to help people. But before we get into talking about our subject today, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Born and raised in Oxnard, California.
Orale, Oxnardian.
Yes.
The Nard.
Yes, and that's why I'm super passionate about, like you said, getting away from the stigma around getting, empowered through coaching, counseling, therapy, whatever it is, so that we can level up into the lives that we want to live as Latinos, because our gringo friends whom we love have been taking advantage of these resources, which is amazing for years and years. For them, it's, oh yeah, my life coach, this is what happened. Oh, in my sessions, this is what's happening. It's normal to them. For us Latinos, it's like, a life coach, y eso con qué se come, you know? Or, I'm okay, I don't need help, and all of that jazz. So I'm here to, make a stand for, we're getting rid of that conversation and stepping into, accessing these resources.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
How do you think I am?
Quinceañera. You just had your quinceañera last weekend?
That's correct. I'm 39 years old.
So you're 39 years old. You're about to hit the 40s club.
New 20s.
Jose, are you the 40s club? Yeah? 40s club? Yeah.
Yeah.
The new 20s. You're about to make it to the 20s. So what got you into this type of work specifically? Where did the call come? Where did the passion come? Where did the light click? And you said, you know what, this is what I want to do.
So the actual light clicked, like it was a lot of dots, because you know how we are in our journey. It's not just one day something happens. It's like multiple dots get connected throughout your journey, and then you have that moment where you're like, okay, this is what I want to do. But what started off, and I was thinking about this recently, like where did it like actually start for me? And it was me, being born and raised in Oxnard, coming from parents that are immigrants, were farm workers most of their lives, feeling marginalized, not resources, not feeling like you were in a community where you were meant to win and overcome, and feeling really kind of just lost and like I didn't really matter, but knowing there was something more and I wanted something more. Y yo siempre he sido very curious, which has either got me in trouble or has helped me, get through good stuff. But when I was a freshman in high school, some of my girlfriends were attending this, not retreat, but it was like a camp. And I heard they were going to it, and I was invited to it, but I was like, what is that? I want to go, if anything, just to get out of the house, because my parents are so strict. So somehow I ended up going, and it was a camp put on by Future Leaders of America in the high schools. It blew my mind, I was about 15 years old, and I was like, it was all about empowerment, your worth, achieving success, and being Latinos, you can do this, y se puede. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? And that's the first time I got a taste of that. And so from there, I think just psychology and empowerment and getting better and developing yourself started just becoming a little call. And I mean, we only have a couple minutes, so, we don't have all night, but but that's where it started.
Okay.
That was the seed.
Awesome. And so where did you get prepared? So are you part of an association of life coaches? Let me know. So, because it's, your company is called
Heartistic.
Heartistic.
Yes.
So how did you come up with that name?
Yeah, that was tricky. So I was like, Heartistic for me means being an artist of your heart, really cleaning up your heart and being intentional about living your life from your heart, and what's important to you. And so that's where Heartistic, the name, came from. So I'm committed to not just me living my life that way, but everybody that comes through, our services, to be able to be an artist and design their life from their heart and getting rid of the stuff that's getting in the way.
How long have you been established?
This is my second year as a certified coach. I did my coaching program through Ideal Coaching Global, is the name of the school.
Okay.
So it's accredited. I became certified, and I'm actually working for them now too. I coach the new cohorts of coaches coming in. I mean, it's a group of us. It's not just myself, but yeah, it's super rewarding.
Can you coach me, coach?
Yes.
I want to be coached.
I'm like, yes. You know what? It'll be great to do a live coaching session on here once.
Let's do it.
If you're brave,
these
brave.
are now the Ghetto Fabulous Studios of Good Hustlers Incorporated, and I don't know how many other names I have for this business. So believe me, once we get it all set up and we're here, we can have access to this whenever you want.
Awesome.
All right? You're my invited guest.
Thank you.
So today you're gonna talk a little bit about coaching and the differences of certain kind of coaching. So let us have it. I'm gonna go ahead and give the camera to you now. They're looking at you, girl. So right over that camera right over there. So tell us, what's the topic today?
So a little bit, I'd like to distinguish, the difference from my specific type of coaching, Because what I've noticed and what is a little bit of a barrier in getting the message and sharing what we do as life coaches is that we notice on social media and, in all kinds of media, there's this oversaturation of, oh, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I'm this, I'm that. And people are just like, so are you going to get me on a nutritional plan? Like, are you going to tell me how to work out at the gym? Like, people just don't know the difference between the different types of coaches are out there. The coaching that I do specifically is ontological coaching.
Ontological.
Ontological coaching.
How do you spell that?
ONTOLOGICAL.
Okay, so onto, sort of like it was
Yes.
onto. Okay, ontological coaching. Okay.
So, ontology, we know it's a study of. And ontological, the first part is the study of your being. So we work with who are you being, how are you being, and that comes to your language, your inner conversations, your thought process. Like, how do you show up in the spaces that you're a part of in your life? Whether it's work, with family, with yourself, with your partner. It's working in that space, not about, hey, did you do your push-ups today? What'd you eat? That's not what my coaching is about. It's really, we create this very sacred, I call it very sacred, safe space where we have a conversation about what you want to create in your life. And I work, and I mentioned to you about blind spots and, being on autopilot.
Yeah.
And a great example, and if you follow me on Instagram, Heartistic, __, there's a picture or a meme I posted maybe a couple months back, but I was thinking about this today. And the way I can define the kind of work we do, or that specifically that I do, it's that picture, if somebody finds it, it's a donkey, and he's tied up to a rope to a plastic chair, to a flimsy plastic chair. So as you know, like in Mexico, donkeys or horses, they tie them up from a rope to a big tree, and what happens when they try to leave?
Dan vueltas, they just go in circles.
And they can't leave because it's a strong tree that's holding them in place. So after so many times of them being tied up like that, the picture, you see the donkey tied up to a flimsy plastic chair, but he sees the rope, he sees he's tied up. What do you think he does?
I don't know, is this a trick question?
No. Come on, think. What do you think he's trained to do?
Get away?
No, he's trained to stay there.
Okay.
He's psyched out thinking he's tied up to a big tree. He doesn't know how to differentiate the tree from the flimsy plastic chair. Get where I'm going?
So it's already in bed, like this is like, that's already, like it's already there.
It's
like,
a limiting belief.
Okay.
And that's what I love to work on. It's those limiting beliefs that we've created. Believe me, you think you don't have a plastic chair you're tied up to. You got a couple of them.
What are some of the plastic chairs that people have? Come
Oh.
on, let's go there.
Well,
I mean, this is not cheese, but this is like real talk.
Yeah.
What are some of the plastic chairs that people have?
well, so many. What is a limiting belief you have?
That I can't lose weight.
There you go. Why do you believe that?
Because no puedo cerrar la boca.
¿No puedes o no quieres?
No quiero.
Okay, so it's a limiting belief that you think you can't lose weight, but you really can.
I can.
The donkey thinks he can't move because he's tied up, but he can.
So por eso sale that's why people say eres bien burro.
Ándale.
You're such
Stubborn.
a burro because you're stubborn. You don't listen. You just okay. All right.
And we function like that, and it's normal. It's not like a bad thing. We all have that. We all have those tendencies of believing, I'm that way. I'm just this way. I was born that way. Siempre he sido así. I can't change that. This is who I am. No, it's not. We can get rid of those beliefs. And of course, it doesn't just happen like this. It's a legit session. We go deep. We really get into the core of stuff. And then you always come out with new practices of how you're empowered and want to step into what's next for you.
Awesome. So this is
Ontological.
ontological
Coaching.
and this is what you specify it. And so we've talked about some so like elaborate a little bit more, give us some more education.
Some
girl.
more?
Make us smarter. Queremos ser más inteligente.
Well,
I dropped out. I need an education.
Well, just the thing is, when you talk about limiting beliefs, it's, going back to the donkey in the chair.
Okay.
What happens when you realize it's a flimsy chair and you're not tied up to it.
No manches, pues eso digo, no, pues qué pendejo, how stupid.
Nope.
No?
See, it's that languaging is another thing we work
Oh
on.
my gosh, I'm in trouble. I'm failing epically. I need a coach.
Epically.
Okay,
Yes.
a ver, so
And
what
you're
digo?
not failing. See,
I'm
that's
not.
another thing.
So that's another one of my plastic chairs.
Yeah.
My room is full of plastic chairs. I got chairs everywhere.
And that is the thing. And it's like, so what is it preventing us from stepping into when we're tied down to all these flimsy plastic chairs that really don't have us tied down, but in our thoughts they do. And more when our languaging to ourselves is que pendejo, que bruto, no, well,
Que mensa.
if that's your cheerleader, forget it.
Yeah, and on top of that, if someone else is encouraging that kind
Oh,
of
yes,
language
for sure.
and stuff. Like, parents always tell their children, no, eres bueno para nada, no sirves.
Yes.
Eres como tu papá, eres como tu, like your mom, you're like your dad. Like, those are those things that put those chairs in places sometimes.
For sure, it definitely is. Most of this stuff is, we experience certain situations in our lives and we create those limiting beliefs from that. Oh, I'm not good at that. And now I'm not good at that. You've told yourself so many times you're not good at that. You're an adult, and guess what? You're walking around showing up everywhere as I'm not good at that. I'm not good enough. You're bringing that everywhere with you.
Share with me one of your success stories of seeing someone at a very low spot and now possibly looking at their lives now, how it's completely changed. Do you have any stories that come to mind of people that you've worked with without having to say their name or give
Of
their
course.
address or their Facebook
I never.
or Instagram handle?
And that's honestly, with all joking aside, that's something super serious
Oh,
and
definitely.
in our code of ethics as coaches. And I'm a part of the International Coaching Federation, which is what I got certified through. It's a big important part that we make as part of our services is we never share any information. If you see on my posts, I have a lot of clients that follow me, but I never say, hey, so and so, this is what we worked on today. No, it's sacred. This is your life. I know how important it is, and we all share when we're ready to share, but it's never going to come from me as your coach to
So
share.
then you
anything.
can't share a story of
No,
okay.
yeah, I can share something. So, for example, I was coaching this couple, but separately. They recommended her to me and the husband because they were, having some issues, falling out and stuff. But through the coaching, she was really able to see that she didn't want to be with this person. She, left with him when she was 16 years old. She's now 22, but she had all these beliefs of, ¿qué va a decir la gente? What's going to happen if I walk away from this? Yet you were a child when you married this guy that was 23 at the time, and now, So they came to me trying to work it out, and of course, had they wanted to work it out, that's fine. But she really got real with herself about her situation and was empowered to own that she did not love this person and she was not going to live her life in a relationship where there was no authentic love.
Isn't it crazy how many people are in relationships like that?
Yes. I mean, come on.
And they keep on having child after child,
Yeah.
thinking that they're doing it for the children and things like that, and people are stuck.
Yeah. And disclaimer, I'm not somebody that destroys families, that tells you not to be. I help guide you into what you truly already know you want, feel, And so I help you just live your life as authentically to what it is that you really care, love, and are passionate about. No te digo, no, pues figure it out, stick it out. No, unless you're
like the
telling
TV
me you love the person, then yeah.
Like that chismosa comadre that's just giving
No.
your input. You have no idea what you're talking about.
In fact, I don't give advice. I don't. I'll share
Because-
resources, but I don't give advice.
Okay, I think it's really powerful because one of the things that you're highlighting is that we know what we're supposed to do. But some of us, sometimes we're just so stuck believing our lies or hanging on to our plastic chairs that sometimes it takes that person to prompt us and prompt us and
Yeah.
prompt us to be able to get to where we need to be.
Yeah, and I call it, being able to see those blind spots, those limiting beliefs, and then being empowered to, okay, I've had this aha moment, here's the shift, and now I don't just leave you with, oh, cool, you were able to see that. It's now, what practices do we put in place so that you can now practice doing it the other way, the way that's true to you.
So when I'm calling you I'm not calling you because I want you to fix me. I'm calling you because I actually want your support to help. Because that's what a coach does.
Yes.
I mean, a coach doesn't. They give the playbook. They give the instruction, and then the player has to go out there.
Correct.
The coach is not throwing the ball. The coach is not catching the ball. The coach is sitting there simply coaching the individual. The person has to play the game.
Yeah, correct. So one of the priorities for me being here and moving forward and making sure I'm sharing this with the community is, one, bringing awareness to the resource of coaching or therapy or counseling or whatever it is that will help you in your personal development. The second is letting you know I'm here and I have a resource and network of other coaches, counselors, therapists to refer you to. If you feel just by hearing me that you connect with me, that I'm someone that can coach you, reach out. If not, I also have the network of coaches, male, female, all different backgrounds, ethnicities, and I'll help find, someone that is a good match for you. But I want people to take advantage of this, please.
And we have it here, Heartistic Coaching. The phone number to contact you is 805-509-8966, correct?
Yes.
It's a number to be able to reach her, and I think it's really good that you brought up a really good thing that happens a lot of times when people go see a therapist, is they see one, they don't like them, they don't click them, they don't vibe, and they give up.
Yes.
And I think it's important for people to know that you're shopping, just like if you're going to a restaurant, like you're going anywhere else. If you go somewhere, maybe you had a bad experience with a therapist or a coach. Maybe you went to that personal trainer and he's 350 pounds. And you're like, why am I getting personally trained by this guy? He's overweight. He doesn't know what to do. So maybe you ran into someone who probably doesn't have the knowledge, or you just didn't vibe. Remember the guy? They just didn't click,
That's okay.
They try to give you advice, or they try to tell you what someone else has always told you. Don't give up. Shop around. Find somebody. And so you're someone that people can contact, right?
Yes.
How do you work with payments? Because people have insurances, people have no money sometimes, people can't afford it. Do you have solutions like group solutions that maybe are free for people or sliding scale? How does that work financially for your services?
I do. I'm super committed to, like I said, making this accessible, and that means financially accessible too. I get it. I have another business where financially it's our bread and butter. This is my passion. So for me, I don't like to give this free only because nobody appreciates things that are free. But I for sure will work on a, sliding scale and do something that works for you, because I want you to have this. I want you to take advantage of this. And not just that, the other thing is that, this is culturally sensitive to you. So coaching has been around, but it's different when you go to a coach that can't relate to where you're coming from, your background, your culture. I can, and I know other coaches that can too. Like I said, this is not just me promoting myself. This is the service itself, the resource, because I want my gente to be able to take advantage of this. Just like I know it's given me so much. And for me, it's, I'm the kind of person, I see a good movie, or I watch a good show, or read a good book, or live an awesome retreat. I'm going to share it with my family and loved ones. And that includes my family, my community. So
one of the things I'm going to ask you before we get ready, we got a couple of minutes left here on the show. And so the phone number to contact you once again, and also give us your Instagram and your Facebook information.
Yes, so my Instagram is Heartistic, which is the one I really post on daily. Heartistic, HEARTISTIC. So follow me on there. My personal one is Soccer Chica 805 if you want to see my, what I had for dinner and stuff like that.
So Soccer Chica, are you a soccer fan, or do you play soccer?
I played soccer most of my life.
You said played, so you don't play anymore.
I don't play anymore.
¿Por qué no?
Because when my son was like 5, I was still playing. Y me madrié bien feo. So I had surgery on my ankle. It was a mess. And I was like, I can't afford to be injured. I'm a mama now. So I'll watch him play.
You'll watch him play. But you did tell me that you cook.
Oh, I coach as good as I cook. So that'll tell you.
And she already gave me an invite. She gave me an invitation. We're going to go do a What's Good Foodie in her cocina. And
Let's do it.
What's your favorite plato de preparar? O para preparar. My Spanglish is horrible.
I don't know that to prepare it, but flavor-wise, my favorite is chiles rellenos en caldo. And it's lengthy to prepare. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure that's my favorite to prepare, but it's surely my favorite to consume.
Well, we'll figure it out. You'll be coming soon. I'll be coming to your house soon.
Yeah.
To eat some food and to do maybe some little cooking segment right there. Hacer comida. I want to thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we go ahead and close this segment?
Just please challenge yourself. If anything of what you've heard today resonates even a little bit, this is where it happens. It's not what I've said. It's you now doing point four and stepping into it and calling and saying, hey, can you hook me up with somebody? Who can I have a free call with or with me, And we'll take it from there. You're ready.
All right. So with that said, I want to go ahead and take you to the next segment. It's What's Good Foodie. It's a moment where I go in the community and I have some really good comida. And so there's a place that's on Vineyard. It's called Lupita's. Have you ever been to Lupita's Bakery?
I have not.
You have to go. Lupita's Bakery, because I'm a baller on a budget. So wherever I can get some food that's under like $5 or $10, I'm there. And so there's some really good burritos. So we're going to go to that video, and then we're going to come back with my special guest, El Abogado, the attorney Hector Marache is in the house. And he's going to be sharing with us his journey of becoming an attorney and also the services that he can provide for you if you're caught up with a criminal issue, if you got some immigration you need help with, or if you get injured in an accident. He's going to have some information on how he can help you and how he can be your attorney and represent you, because it's their experience that makes a difference. So we're going to go ahead and go to this foodie video right here. We'll be right back in just a second, okay, guys? Hey, what's up, familia? How are you guys doing? Oh my goodness, it is Tuesday. You know what happens on Tuesdays? It's Taco Tuesday. I am on Vineyard right now. Right across the street is Jack in the Box and La Vallarta, but we're going back over here to this spot back here. We're gonna go check it out. On Tuesdays, they have a special where they have their tacos for 99 cents. And these aren't just your small little tacos, these are big, mucho grande tacos. Favorites are these ones, los elotes. 5 to 8 tacos are $1 on Tuesdays. With every purchase, you get a free conchita, or you also get one free churro with a taco purchase. Only one per order, one of your choice. This is the deal right here. I come normally for the burrito chico. It's $3.50 and it's pretty big. It's actually a good price. You get to eat for under $5 because if you just get a soda, it's like $4.50. Lunch for $4.50 and it's a bomb burrito. But these, so we got chorizo con huevos, chiles rellenos, carne asada, arroz. We got the famous beans. Look at puerco and salsa roja, and we got al pastor. So you guys, we're gonna go ahead and add limon to it because we need limon on our tacos. Here we go, guys. Look at this. It's steaming. Calientito. Bite number 2. Here is the second one. Look at that. This one is a little bit spicy, guys. Because this is too delicious. So there you have it, familia. Come and check them out. Lupita's Bakery. If you're a baller on a budget, their burritos chicos are $3.50. Their tacos from 5 to 8 p.m. are $1, and they're the big tacos. I gotta go back to eating. So here we go. We are unmuted now. So we're gonna stop talking about issues. What's good, guys? It's your host, Richard Linares, the Good Hustler, and I am back here with our second segment where we highlight a good hustler. Someone who is in the community, someone who is a business leader, someone who is an entrepreneur, someone who is an artist, someone who is making it and succeeded in what they have set their heart and their mind to do, but also someone who actually has a heart to give back and to help other people. That's what I qualify as a good hustler. And this individual is a good hustler. He is not only a good hustler, but he's a good friend. Hector Marache.
Marrache.
Marache.
Dude, you're a Latino. You should be able to roll your R's pretty good,
I don't know what it is. Sometimes I just don't speak correctly.
right? Marrache. I mean,
I don't enunciate correctly. I love myself. Don't give me a chair. Take the chair away. Don't give me no limiting beliefs. No, just kidding. So, Hector, you're here with us today, and so you are an attorney, right?
I am.
You eres un abogado,
It
and,
is.
and so you have your office. Where's your office at?
Oxnard, 154 East 6th Street.
So you're-
Oxnard, California, 93030.
You're right down the street, huh?
Right down the street
Let
on
me go ahead
6th and Maida.
I'm gonna put your name right here, para que la gente mira, Hector. There you go. There's your nombrecito. Mira, ves? ¿Puedes ver? That's you,
Yeah, that's
Hector.
2 R's, bro. Rache, Marrache. Not 1 R.
This guy has clarified that he is Hector Marache. So a shout out to anybody that might be watching. Your mom.
Shout out to the fam.
Woo! Mosa.
Yep.
Mosa. Mosa is special, right?
She's a special lady for sure.
She has raised you an attorney, a professional cook, a police officer,
Police officer.
and an amazing big-hearted daughter, Yvette,
Yep.
which is my best friend,
Yep.
and which is I was rolling number 2,
Yeah.
and you at one point were rolling number 1.
Well, yeah, kind of.
But now you got into this clean eating.
Right?
How much weight have you lost, dude?
Since when?
Since you start, like, what was probably the heaviest you've ever been?
Wow, this is getting kind of personal.
It is. That's what it's about, bro.
It's okay, man. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
So yeah, I was somewhat healthy, but there were periods of my time where I got heavy, and then I got tired of being fat, and then I lose weight, and then.
Stop curbing that question, sir.
Well,
How?
I'm gonna tell you. I think
Okay.
at my heaviest, probably in my late 30s and my 40s, I was probably 280 something, 276, maybe 280.
And what are you today?
Today I'm probably around 200, 205.
This dude has a huge transformation with regards. Like I said, he was rolling number 1. Now I'm rolling number 1 and number 2 all by myself. Like
He's all rolled up, all into one. But wait a second. It's been a journey. It's not, like your business goals or your objectives. It's something that you have to actually seek and work at. A lot of people say, I want to diet. I want to do the keto diet, right? Which is, I've been ketogenic for about a year and a half.
Okay.
But I've done it consistently, and I've done it the right way.
Yeah.
And people think I'm crazy eating, 200 to 250 grams of fat a day, which is contrary to what everybody, tells you your whole life. Stay away from fat, stay away from cholesterol, no saturated fats. Oh, meat's bad for you. Anyways, none of that's true. But in any event, the point I'm trying to make is you have to be consistent, right? So my weight loss journey began probably about, I want to say 5-6 years ago. So I'm 52 now. About
Se mira bien el
4
muchacho para
four-
52.
or 5 years ago. Yeah, I
Okay.
think the gray hair gives it away.
That's
Um,
gray hair?
Yeah,
I
that's
thought they
gray
were just
hair.
natural. I thought they were highlights.
Highlights, no.
No?
So before I turned 50, I was of the mindset, I'm like, oh my God. I'm telling my wife, we're going to be 50 pretty soon. I mean, I'm in a size 40, right? I want to get healthy. I want to live long. I want to surf until I'm in my 70s. I started surfing when I was 12. And I was still surfing when I was big, small, medium, doesn't matter. I was still in the water. So I'm telling myself, okay, I need to get healthy before I'm 50. So that's when I started. So by the time I was 50, I did, the camp transformation, to give them a plug. That stuff works, and it's a lot of work.
Did
And
you
I-
win? Did you get? Did you?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like you have to like. Is it the 21 day? Like is it like a certain challenge and you get your money
six-
back?
You pay a certain amount of money,
Mhm.
and the deal is you have to lose at a minimum 20 pounds in the 6-week period.
Did
And
you do it?
Oh yeah, I did 3 back-to-back challenges. I lost a total of 74 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. I weighed out, I think I weighed in like a 278. I weighed out like a 203 or something like that.
Oh my goodness! And those 3 sessions were completely free because you got your money back, right?
Well,
Or-
because I beat the challenge, yeah, they reimburse you the money. But in my personal opinion, you know, that type of the exercise regimen works.
Mhm.
Because you know, it's just about moving, repetition, high intensity interval training. Now that I've been ketogenic for about a year and a half, I think that the diet part of it could improve. That's my personal opinion. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that it doesn't work, because it does work. That program does work,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's sustainable long term.
Yeah.
Okay, and I used to bodybuild and work out a lot in my 30s, and you know, I'd be walking around with, you know, a little thing with 12 pieces of chicken. You know, when you start a diet, you get all fancy. I'm gonna cook my chicken this way, and my beef this way, and my veggies this way, and you do that a couple of times, and about 2-3 weeks into it, you're just boiling your chicken. Which is what I did. I used to walk around with 12 breasts of chicken boiled, apple and cold green beans, amino acid, desiccated liver tablets, BCAAs, you name it, the whole thing, right? And
This
you're-
guy's so into everything. He's like one of my tweaker friends. He like knows everything about like keto and ketogenic stuff. But let's get into why did you become an attorney? And we're all tweaked out. We're like, close the curtains, cierra la cortina. The police are coming. So
Hey, who's that?
I don't know.
It's like, "Cucuy is
I
coming
owe
in."
them money, bro. Tell them I'm not here. So why an attorney? How did your journey like? Give us like a minute or two of like what led you to become an attorney.
What led? Well, you know, Moza. Right?
Moza?
So Moza is, you know, incredible mother. You know,
And I'm gonna have you try to talk a little bit into this thing. Right? There you go. You're good.
You know, she's single mom
Mhm.
raising 4 kids and a grandchild all on her own, right? She started to work for law firms. I was 18, 19, and through her, I started to do sign-ups at law firms, which meant that I went out, met with the clients, interviewed them, did an intake sheet, had them sign their retainer agreements, and I explained all that to them, took some photos, went to the scene of the incident, took some photos there, brought the file back, gave it to them, and that was it. And I was paid, you know, a flat fee for every sign-up depending on the area, the geographical area. Well, when you're 18, 19 years old and you're getting, you know, 50 to $100 per sign-up, and you're doing, you know, 10 sign-ups a week, I mean, that's pretty good money, right? I mean, you're like, okay, I can do this. So that kind of led into, you know, back then I was working for these 2 partners, and then they ended up splitting up. I stayed with the one partner. By that time, my mother was working somewhere else, doing something else. And so, you know, signing up cases. Then I was working pre-litigation in the office. Then I ran the pre-litigation department. And then I was basically administrating the office. And then I became, in the mid-90s, a lot of, you know, the soft tissue cases, you know, the smaller cases. There was a lot of fraud going on. A lot of
Okay.
people were setting up cases, and the insurance companies caught on to that. So there was a period of time where business wasn't so good for the attorneys that were just doing little fender benders, right?
Okay.
Because there was too much fraud going around, and the insurance companies who weren't paying, and there was DAs investigating doctors and investigating attorneys, or people closing their. Anyways, it was just bad.
Yeah.
So when all that happened, a lot of the attorneys that were doing those types of cases started doing other types of law, or started litigating bigger cases, but not, and a lot of them just didn't know how to litigate. Anyway, what happened was I went from doing that, and I learned how to litigate cases at another firm. And I had a couple of mentors there that were very instrumental to me becoming a lawyer. Paul Kiesel and Bill Larson. And I remember Anton Naidu, who used to work, he was their senior paralegal, and he helped me a lot too. But anyways, those 3 people in that law firm taught me a lot. And I took those skills to as high as I could take them, right?
Yeah.
And what I meant was I became pretty specialized in trial preparation from a paralegal standpoint, right? From a, you know, litigation paralegal standpoint, to the point where I was going to court, but I couldn't talk when I was in court. I knew the case backwards and forwards. I knew all the law. I had written all the briefs. I did all the law in motion, all the motions eliminate. I did all the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And then I made a deal with a very good friend of mine with Stephen Bernard that I was working for. And,
Yes.
and
Very familiar with his name in your family.
Stevie B. Shout out to Stevie B, my boy. And then I went to law school. I was working with him, and I was juggling. My wife was a stay-at-home mom through this time, so I had to keep, my operation afloat.
Yeah.
Single mom, and I went to law school married, with 3 kids and 1 on the way, with 4 kids and a stay-at-home wife. So I'm juggling law school, work, family, church life, my faith, and all that stuff. So for those of you out there that think it's hard, it's doable. It's like, picture yourself, there's a huge mountain, right? And you start going up the mountain and you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm going to make it to the top. There's just no way. I'm tired. I'm thirsty. I'm going to turn around. It's all downhill from this period. Turning around is easy.
Yeah.
But what you do is you complain and you just, there are times when you want to give up. But if you press forward, before you know it, you're at the peak. And the rest is downhill. Going the other side, it becomes easier,
How long is law school?
Well, there are 3-year programs and 4-year programs. So I think, traditionally the 3-year programs are for people who don't work. Okay. Or they don't like for you to work, because you're in class 4 or 5 times out of the week. There's really no time to do. There's just no way. Law school is not like high school or even college. You can't take a course and cram for the entire course the night before the final. Yeah. You really, you have to kind of keep up. There's a lot of reading. And what people don't understand is when they go to law school, why am I reading these old cases? Why am I reading all this stuff that makes absolutely no sense? Well, you're reading all that because you need to understand, the concept, right? How does the law of negligence develop? What is causation and why? And if you understand the concepts of the holdings and the facts of the cases that you're reading, when it comes time to do the exam, if you understand the concept, then you can apply that concept, and you'll have the rule somewhat memorized and already kind of committed to heart because you understand the concept.
What you bring to mind right now is like, I'm getting the image of the Karate Kid, where he's like, why am I doing this wax on and wax off thing? You're questioning, and there's people that are in that situation with they're pursuing a career, they're going to school for something, and they're like, man, why am I doing this? It seems redundant. It seems like it's not doing anything for me. But like I said, you have to get to that place where you press through.
You got to press through. It's the same thing with the dieting, right? You have to just be consistent.
Let's change the subject, please. Just kidding.
Who's out there?
Nobody. You're talking about dieting. We got to change the subject.
Yeah, it's like anything in life. You have to be consistent. You have to set a goal. You have to set objectives. And when you're in law school, you have to put the blinders on. I tell people, you go to law school, just forget about your social life. It's okay. Before you know it, 3 or 4 years goes by like this, dude. It goes by fast.
Yeah.
Right? And then, after law school, I became partners with Stephen. And then I formed another partnership with another lawyer that I actually went to law school with. He and I were partners for about 8-9 years out in Encino. And then I set up shop when he and I split up. It was a friendly split up. I set up shop here in Oxnard.
So you've been in Oxnard, I think, going on 2 years now, right?
No, more like 4.
4 years?
Yeah.
4 years in Oxnard, California.
Yeah.
And you're right in front of La Central Bakery, right?
Yeah.
Right there in the corner, right there by the Mission.
Yeah.
Right in downtown. Anybody that's familiar with downtown Oxnard, you know where La Central Bakery is at.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where La Central is, you know where the Mission is at. And if you don't know where the Mission is at, you must know where Clínicas del Camino
Clínicas.
Real
Yeah.
is at, which is right there on the corner.
And if you don't know where any of that is, you know where the Abogados de su Defensa is, right there on the corner of Meta and 6.
And it says Abogados really, really big right there.
Yeah. Abogados.
Abogators, see you laters.
Abogados.
So you're right there on the corner of 6 and Meta. You've been here in Oxford for 4 years. So how long have you been practicing law in general? So you've had legal experience for since you've been 18, you're saying?
Yeah, but 19, I've been licensed. I passed the bar, I think it was in May of 2008.
Okay.
If I recall correctly.
Okay.
That's when I became licensed. So I've been a licensed attorney since that time.
Okay.
It's doable.
Okay.
You can totally do it if you set your mind to it and you have, my wife was very instrumental in my success in that, for 4 years she carried pretty much the weight of, the kids, the family, the going to
Those
the parties.
wives, those women, they're amazing.
They are amazing, and there were times where, I couldn't go to birthday parties, and there was, times where I missed my kids' baseball games, but it's a sacrifice that you do for your family.
That's really awesome that you bring up. So one of the things that we've talked about is like, pressing through those things that you're doing that seem like they're just redundant, like they're not taking you anywhere. But also right now is like there's a price to pay. There's going to be things that you're going to miss out on. Like you right now have currently 2 individuals in your office that are preparing in law school right now, right?
Well, we have Melinda, who's in law school, Kenneth, who I believe I've been trying to prod him and get him into law school. He's got a couple of things he wants to take care of. He has his bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
And I tell this to a lot of young people. I say to them, look, if you're going to go to school, make sure that you don't stop at the bachelor's degree. You want a professional degree if you're going that route. School is not for everyone.
Yeah.
It's for some people, and I used to work with a guy named Mike who I think everybody in his family, or a lot of people in his family, were lawyers. And his dad wanted him to be a lawyer, so he went to law school. And he went to law school because it was expected of him, right? And he went to a great law school, got good grades, came out, became a lawyer, but he didn't like practicing law. So
that happens so many times. Parents like influence, or someone else influences someone.
And I think a lot of things have changed now too, Richard. We have Facebook, YouTube. I mean, you can learn how to do pretty much anything on YouTube, right?
Yep.
I can fix my car on YouTube, watching YouTube videos. I don't because, but
You can ask Siri, you can ask Google now, you can talk to them. They tell
Siri,
you.
Google, what's her name? Alexa.
¿Quién sabe? La comadre,
La comadre.
la chismosa.
La comadre Cocoliche.
So your accent, you are from like Peruvian descent, right? Or something like that?
Yeah. I was born and raised in Lima, Peru, in South
Lima,
America.
Peru. So hablas completamente el español, right?
Claro que sí, sí.
So, and your wife is Mexican, right?
My wife is Mexican.
Wife is Mexican. She can whoop your butt.
Yeah, Mexican.
If you get out of line. And so you have how many? 4 children?
4 kids.
Practicing law. You have had the privilege of doing a lot of good for the people in the community.
Yes.
Since I've been here in the city of Oxnard, Hector has been one of my biggest supporters, honestly. Like, when it comes down to, like, forking over dinero, like, he's like, Richard, I want to make a difference in this community. I want, however we can network, however we can put ourselves out there to help people. And so just Thanksgiving, we gave away about 25 food boxes.
That's right, yeah.
There and
turkeys.
Turkeys. Years before, you've given $500 for the backpack giveaways. And so he is an individual that's not just been successful in business, but he's also being successful in doing good for humanity. And so I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that. And so we're at the 8:55 hour, and we have about 3 to 4 minutes left. So let's get into what you're practicing with
Sure.
regards to law. So what kind of cases can you help our people with? Your number's on the screen, so if you need any legal assistance, 805-436-1227. That's 805-436-1227. So what areas of law are you practicing, and how can our viewers or guests know more about your services?
So, I mean, my background has primarily been in personal injury litigation, representing people that have been injured in car accidents, slip and falls. Perhaps they, a product was defective and it injured them somehow, wrongful death, catastrophic injuries, brain injuries, all of that stuff. So I can help, we help all of our clients in that regard. We work those particular cases on a contingency fee basis, which means that you don't pay attorney fees unless and until we obtain a recovery for the client.
Okay.
Now, that recovery can take, on the bigger cases, can take up to 2 years. During those 2 years, we're spending a lot of money hiring experts, paying for depositions, paying for trial, and then doing all kinds of stuff. And if we lose, I have to eat it.
You have to eat.
But, okay.
You and the doctor and everyone else that's partnered with you, because
Well, I don't know about the doctors, but I mean the experts we have to pay ahead
yeah.
of time, yeah. But yeah, no, the attorneys under our retainer agreement, I don't go after my clients for costs. It's just You know, it's just the way that it is. We also do a lot of criminal defense.
Okay.
You know, mostly just locally here in Oxnard, because I know that the community needs those services, and also immigration defense and immigration services.
So when you say criminal defense, what are probably some of the cases that you're seeing, or that you probably would like to see more of? And I don't mean to say like you would like to see more people get in trouble with the law, but what are some areas of law that people are getting in trouble and they don't realize that an attorney will make a big difference?
Well, what I see a lot in terms of, look, if you're an American citizen, right, or a legal permanent resident, you're going to have way more rights in terms of an immigration issue. Well, obviously, if you're an American citizen, you don't have immigration consequences.
Yeah.
If you're a legal permanent resident and you do something, you may have immigration consequences. And if you don't have documents, right, and something happens to you in court, you know, chances are that you can be put into removal proceedings, and that can have can affect your ability to defend yourself in the deportation proceedings. So, what I see a lot is a lot of people who have misdemeanors, right? You know, misdemeanor offenses, you know, theft, perhaps possession, DUIs, things of that sort, and even some lower level felonies, you know, possession for sale, or, you know, perhaps a robbery. And when they go to court, yeah, they have an interpreter. They don't want to pay the money, so they just end up with a public defender. The problem with that is that a lot of times what I've been seeing is that the pleas that they're entering into, the negotiations that they're doing with the district attorneys, has a negative impact, a negative immigration consequence had they had the right person. And I'm not saying that this works every single time, but it is doable.
Yeah.
You can get DAs and you can get some judges to craft perhaps a safe harbor, or craft a different deal that would have less of an impact in terms of immigration. And so I see that a lot. And the problem is that once you go to court, you know, the defendants, you know, our community, they don't know the system. They just go see, yes, sign right here, and they sign.
Yeah.
They signed a waiver
That's heartbreaking.
of their
bro.
constitutional rights. You know how hard it is to go back and reopen that criminal case? It's a lot of work, and it costs a lot of money, and so people are kind of stuck with that in their immigration case. And so that's an area where I think that I think people need to be more aware of that. You know,
Okay.
if they can afford, you know, private counsel in a criminal case, private counsel that knows of the immigration consequences, I think that they should retain one.
That's so awesome. And so, criminal defense, personal injury. So, personal injury, if you've been injured in an accident,
Yep.
you provide services for them free. And if you don't win the case, they don't pay.
Well, it's not free.
Well, no, it's not free. So,
Yeah, it's on a contingency fee basis. And on that issue, you know what I see a lot in the personal injury area? You know, these insurance companies are using guerrilla tactics. When they identify a Hispanic that doesn't speak English, they will actually get a Spanish-speaking adjuster, which will then go out to that person and say to them something like, hey, you know what? I'll give you $1,000 now, and I'll set aside another $500 for any medical bills that you have. Go ahead and sign here. We'll take care of everything for you, right? So that guy has no clue. He's never been through. He doesn't know the system. He's never spoken to a lawyer. He signs. 2 weeks later, he's got horrible shoulder pain. It turns out he has a tear, you know, a rotator cuff tear. It's a case that's worth a lot of money, not $1,500. And now he calls me up or calls a lawyer up and he says, I want to do a case. Did you sign something? Yes, I did. Well, you just gave up all your rights.
And this is why it's important
Yeah.
for you to call
Exactly.
805.
436-1227.
So this is my friend Hector Marache, Abogados de su Defensa is what we know them at in the Spanish community. And we're working on branding you for the English-speaking community, right?
Yeah.
As of right now, it's Marache Law. So if you need an attorney, personal injury, criminal defense, or immigration, 805.
436-1227.
And as we come to the end of the show, I want to thank you so much for all of your support. Honestly, the reason why you are the reason why these lights are. You are probably 75% of the reason why these lights are on. It is your support. It is you backing me up and supporting me in the projects and the things that I do in the community. And I'm extremely grateful for your friendship. I'm grateful for your partnership. And I'm an advocate and I'm a cheerleader for Abogados de su Defensa.
Thank you, man. And the feeling's mutual.
So, with that said, we come to the conclusion of episode number 3. And
What?
I'm on a
I
roll.
wasn't on number 1.
You were not on number 1.
75% responsible for the lights being on, and I don't even get number 1.
Not even a mention.
I'm gonna go number 2 now.
So we're going, this show is over now. No, just kidding.
On that
So this
note.
is episode number 3 for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, make sure that you subscribe. The rebroadcast of this will be will be uploaded hopefully right after this. We've been having technical difficulties, but if not, it'll be uploaded to YouTube, IGTV, and Facebook tomorrow. Okay, guys? So God bless you guys. GoodHustlers.com. Check us out. You can connect with us there. I love you guys. Dios me los bendiga. Good night.
Good night.